I recently did just a brief interview on somebody else's page about broccoli and breasts and how the power of nutrition can actually turn on and off some of the cancer-causing genes in the body. And so I'm going to be sharing that shortly with you, and just let me know if you have any questions. As always, have a fantastic week, and I look forward to your comments. Please share this if you know anybody who's been touched by cancer, and if you found some value here. Talk to you soon.
Happy Friday, everybody. I always am laughing when I bring him on because he always makes some crazy face right before we go live. So if you could see that, you'd laugh too. But anyway, Laura Schwint here with my husband, Mitchell Schwint. And he's on tonight because he's going to give us some insights on genetics, which he has a lot of experience with. And so the subject is why broccoli is good for your breasts. And so anyway, every week when I go to the grocery store, I'm always very concerned. I always make sure we are getting broccoli or micro broccoli. I always have this in my refrigerator. We use it every week in multiple things, multiple recipes. But I really kind of forgot why I'm always concerned about broccoli. Until this week, I was going through some paperwork and I found a genetic test that actually this guy had recommended I take, and it brought to light why I eat broccoli and why I'm concerned about broccoli. So I'm going to turn it over to the one that can explain scientific things really simply, and that's him. So
all I know is it says on the bottom of this that even though I love you, you're a mutant.
I've been mutated.
What got us onto this test was I was doing some consulting for a startup in the genetic testing space, and one of the big drivers is breast cancer. Most people know about BRCA1 and 2. You hear it on the news, you see it everywhere, but that's really a small subset of breast cancers. There's a whole bunch of other genes, or they're called SNPs, which a simple way to think of it is if I snipped off a chunk of your hair, it would still be your hair, but it just wouldn't style or work the way you wanted it to work. Same thing with your genetic machine. It needs to read the instructions to do what it's supposed to do, and if there's a part that's missing or smudged or smeared, it can result in a mutation or a problem. And how that relates to broccoli and breasts is that there's a substance in these little guys here. You can say it. Go ahead.
Sulforaphane.
Yeah, mouthful. Anyways, there's a compound in broccoli that can have the ability to turn on and off some of these genes. And so knowing that you have, as she does, 5 mutations that increase her risk of breast cancer, with just some simple subtle tweaks in diet and lifestyle, it really has the power to shut off some of these cancer-causing genes and to turn on some of the other ones that are beneficial. And so that's where the broccoli part comes in. And there are a variety of other things that can be done dietarily to help affect some of these other genes. And these genes, unfortunately, cause probably about 80% of the breast cancers based on what we know by current science. And so if you can do something simple like throw some microgreens in your smoothie and decrease the risk of breast cancer, I think that's a pretty powerful strategy.
It's huge. And I remember getting this result back, and you can see the red on this, and those are the ones.
Yeah, you were pretty freaked out.
I was really freaked out because, many of you may know, some of you might not know, but my mom went through a cancer battle. And that is one thing that, it is probably something that still affects me today. Probably one of the most traumatic events of my life. And if I can prevent my kids from seeing me go through that, that would be huge to me. So if I can do simple dietary things to help prevent that, then I'm all for it. And so I know not everybody likes broccoli. It's one of those things that you either love or you hate. But micro broccoli, which has been shown to have 30 to 50% more of that whatever, is very tame. It doesn't taste like broccoli. So I throw this in everything. I throw this on my sandwich. I throw this in my smoothies. I throw this on my crackers with hummus, and I love it.
The kids eat it too. We have a daughter, and we've got a family history of a variety of cancers. And so the driver of this is abnormal estrogen metabolism. And so by chunking some of this stuff in a shake or on top of a salad or throwing in stir fry or whatever, just a way to pack in a little extra nutritional insurance, if you will.
Yeah. And these, I mean, you find these at the grocery store and they're not cheap, they're expensive, but neither is being sick. Being sick is expensive. So I look at it as an investment. But I actually know a person that's developing a kit that you could grow these in your own home. And so that's pretty exciting. But another option is something, and this is supplement form. So if you want to talk a little bit about this is called IC3+.
I3C, yeah, indo-3-carbinol. It's just similar to sulforaphane, as it affects some of the genes and turning them on and off. Does kind of basically a pill form, broccoli in a pill, if you will.
Broccoli in a pill. So I take one of these a day.
And that bottle was inexpensive. I think it was like $8 or something like that last month. And the point I want to bring up, and some people may disagree with this, but there's breast cancer in men. It's about 1% of all breast cancers are detected in men. And a driver of that is estrogen. There's estrogen in males' bodies as well. And we're here on the eve of St. Patty's or whatever. But alcohol is a driver of estrogen increase in men. And so it's sort of a biohacking tactic or technique, whether it's completely vetted by science or not, but something that some people who like beer on St. Patty's Day might think about as a nutritional strategy.
Eat your broccoli before your beer.
Broccoli, beer, and breast, the three essential B's of St. Patty's Day.
So anyway, I hope that was helpful. If you have questions, please send me a private message or comment below and be happy to answer them. And if you like this or want to share it, we'd be happy with that as well. So everyone have a happy St. Patty's Day, and remember to have your broccoli with your beer. It's green, like your green beer.
Excellent. Bring it to the bar.
All right. Cheers, everyone. Good night.